Welcome everyone to this session on web services. In this session, I am going to discuss about certain web services, certain terminologies, scripting languages being used on the web, what is Web 2.0, and other things like online payment transactions that we do these days. Now, what is World Wide Web? It invented by Sir Tim Berners-Lee in 1989. World Wide Web is a collection of information which is accessed via the internet, and internet is a network of networks. Now, this www World Wide Web can be used for sending and receiving information over the internet using hypertext documents called web pages. The web pages may contain text, images, videos, and other multimedia components, as well as navigation features consisting of hyperlinks. Now, hyperlinks are the links when we click on it, it opens another page. HTML is the standard language for creating web pages, and these web pages are displayed by the web browsers. This language tells the browser how to display text, pictures, and links on the screen. It supports multimedia documents and consists of audio, video, graphics, pictures, etc. So HTML is a document layout language and hyperlink specification language, and it uses predefined tags which tells the browser how to display the content on a web page. This is a structure of a HTML document which consists of certain statements on each line. Now each statement is called a tag here. So a tag is actually a command which is enclosed in angle brackets. So the HTML document starts with HTML tag, then we have the head tag, title tag, body tag, h1 and p are also tags in HTML. Now each tag is closed here by putting a slash, like p tag is closed by putting a slash, and then p h1 tag is also closed, and in the end the HTML tag is also closed. XML, or the extensible markup language, it is used to describe data. Unlike HTML, HTML is used to display data, and XML is used to describe data or carry data across the net. Why extensible? Because in this we do not use predefined tags. We can create our own tags according to our requirement. HTML tags are case insensitive tags. You can write a tag in uppercase or lowercase, but XML tags are case sensitive tags. Now here also each tag is enclosed within a pair of angle brackets. This is a sample code. The file starts with the first statement, XML version equals to 1.0. Now this tells that this is an XML document. Now here we have created certain tags, like we have got the student tag. Inside student tag we have the roll number tag, then roll number 1, then student name Ganesh, then we have the class, and then the student tag is closed. After that another student's information is to be added, then we write again the same tags and we close each tag at the end, and in the end we have closed the XML tag. Hypertext transfer protocol. Now this is a protocol which is used to transfer data across the net. It is used to define how the data is formatted and transmitted over the internet. Now we have the HTTP client and HTTP server. We are the client when we are asking the server for something from the internet via the HTTP client. And how do we browse the internet? Through a browser. And we send the request to the HTTP server, and that particular server, it sends back the response to the client. All this is done by your HTTP protocol. IP address is a unique number which is 32-bit in length, and it identifies each computer on the internet. It is assigned by your ISP, whichever ISP, internet service provider, you have connected with, whether it's Airtel or Geo, etc. Then an IP address, it is an identifier for a computer or a device on a TCP/IP network. Now this is the native protocol, transmission control protocol, internet protocol. This is a native protocol that is used over the net. So all of us, all of the world, we use TCP/IP network, and each device on this network is identified by this address. For example, 192.168.1.20 is an example of an IP address. And if you want to view your IP address of your computer, then you can do it on your computer by pressing the Control and R shortcut key. The run command, the box will be opened, and over there you can write CMD, and that will open your command prompt or DOS prompt, and over there you can write the command ipconfig and hit the enter key. Now it will show you the IP address, the machine address, and certain other information about your computer. Domain name, it is a string which is attached to your IP address. Now DNS, there's a server, like when you want to open a website, in the background there's a server which translates your domain name or the name of the website into an IP address. It matches the IP address there, and it fetches the information and it sends the information to you. So a domain name consists of the following parts. We have the top level domain, and then we have the subdomains. For example, we have a domain name kvsangathan.nic.in. This is the primary domain name. Inside this, NIC is the subdomain of in stands for India. And then we have the KV Sangathan, which is a subdomain of NIC. Uniform Resource Locator. Now what is this? This is the location of a document on the internet. That's called the URL. This document can be anything. It can be a text file, an image, an audio, video, or anything else that is present on the web, on the internet. For example, http://cbsc.nic.in/newsite/index.html. This is the URL of which page of the file index.html, which is inside the subdomain new site, which is inside the domain cbsc.nic.in, inside this website. Now, what is Web 2.0? Now, this term is used to describe the second generation. 2.0 or 2.0 means the second generation of the World Wide Web, which is focused on the ability for people to collaborate and share information online. Web 2.0 moved us from read-only internet to a read-write internet. Now, in the initial stages of the web, before 2.0, it was 1.0, we can say, the first version of the web. Over there, we could read the information, but we were not able to share it in the way we can do in Web 2.0. It allows users to collectively classify and find dynamic information that flows two ways between site owner and the site user by means of evaluation, by use of comments and reviews. You can view the web page, you can view the information, you can give the feedback on that particular information, you can communicate. So there's a two-way communication in Web 2.0. For example, we have this Google Maps. You can view the location of things, location of places over the Google Maps. Then we have Google Docs. You can share the docs on documents, whether it's a Google Sheet. You can share any type of documents sitting at one place. These are the Google Docs, Flickr. Then you can share your videos on the YouTube. Then you can share information like wikis, like MediaWiki, Wikipedia.com. All these websites where you can share information. You can use blogs for sharing information. You use social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram for sharing information. And if we talk about web pages, we have static web pages and dynamic web pages. Now, static web pages or the flat or stationary web pages are loaded on the client's browser. Now, who are the client? We are the clients when we are opening the internet on the computer or a mobile phone. So, static web pages are loaded on the client's web browser as they are stored on the web server. Excuse me. So, such web pages they are read-only pages. A user can read them, read the information, but they cannot reciprocate back. They cannot reciprocate or give feedback on that particular page or information. So static web pages are created using HTML. Web pages and websites. A web page is a document which is available on the World Wide Web, and these pages are stored on the web servers, and they are viewed using any web browsers like Chrome, which is from Google, Microsoft Edge, Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, etc. So a web page can contain information like graphics, audio, video, text. It can also contain hyperlinks, and these hyperlinks are related are linked to other web pages, and the collection of these web pages is known as a website, and the website is stored on a web server. Now, dynamic web page is that which is you can interact with that particular web page. You can view the information, you can reciprocate back, and it also shows different information at different point of time, at different place of time. The same web page may be viewed differently. It uses scripting languages to make it dynamic, and it has extension like .asp, .php or .jsp extensions are there. Now web scripting. Now web script is it's a program for adding dynamic capabilities to a web page. If you want to make a web page dynamic, then you need to embed certain web scripts on it. So it's a list of commands which is embedded in a web page in HTML file, and may be used by the server side or the client side as needed. So we have got client side scripting and server side scripting. In client side scripting, it refers to the programs that are executed on the client machine, on the computer, which opens the internet and asks some response from the server. We have got client side scripts. It contains instructions for the browser to be executed in response to certain user action. When the user takes some action, then these scripts are executed. Now these are your languages that we can use: JavaScript, VBScript and PHP, which stands for Hypertext Preprocessor. These languages, scripting languages, can be used for client-side scripting. Now JavaScript, like we have, it is embedded in HTML and executes when the web page is displayed on the screen. We can create user friendly forms. Web forms can be created, and it can be used to display alert messages to the user. It can detect your browser, which browser you're using, and it can display the content as per your browser. It can detect plug and play. If some plugin is missing, then it can notify the user. And the JavaScript file has an extension of .js. This is a sample JavaScript program. Now, in the first instance, you can say this is an HTML file. Yes, this is an HTML file, but this, as we have discussed earlier, this scripting languages are embedded in your HTML file. So it starts with HTML file HTML tag. Then we have head, and there's a script tag which says text script type is equals to text slash JavaScript. Now this command, it tells that this is actually a JavaScript file, and then there's some hello world message that will be displayed on the screen. Then we have the other client-side scripting language, VBScript. Now VB stands for Visual Basic, which is actually a programming language, and the syntax, it is VBScript. It borrows its syntax from Visual Basic. So it is an open source web programming language which is modeled on Visual Basic, and which is a product of Microsoft. But the problem, a limitation of VBScript is that only Internet Explorer, which is from Microsoft, or Microsoft Edge, again from the Microsoft company, only support Visual Basic VBScript, right? And this file VBScript has an extension of .vbs. This is your sample code. Again, it is embedded in HTML file by using script tag. Script type is equal to text slash VBScript. Then we have PHP hypertext preprocessor. Now this is a server-side scripting language for creating dynamic web pages. These scripts are executed on the server. PHP is free and an open source software product. It provides connectivity with many databases like MySQL, Sybase, Oracle, and many other. PHP runs on different platforms. It is cross-platform, like it can run on Unix, Linux, and Windows. It is compatible with almost all web servers used today, like Apache server, IIS server, Internet Information Server. The extension is .php, .php3, or PHTML. This is a sample of your PHP file, again embedded in HTML. So this tag $PHP echo, then this hello world is printed on the web page. A server-side script, it gets executed on the server before displaying the information requested by the client. So here the web page is more secure, as the execution does not take place on the browser, it takes place on the server. It can be used to create dynamic and interactive web pages. It allows access to any data or databases and returns the result to the web browser. The user can dynamically edit or change or add any content of a web browser. Now these are some of the differences that we have between client and server-side scripting. Client-side scripting, it runs on the web browser, and server-side, it runs on the web server. Now this second point we've already discussed. The third point, the browser receives the page sent by the server and executes the client-side scripts on the server-side scripting. Again, it is executed on the server. Client-side script cannot be used to connect to the databases, but server-side scripts can be used to connect to different databases. Client-side scripting can be blocked by the user. You can block the scripting at your end, but server-side script cannot be blocked by the user. It will run. It will get executed. Response from a client-side script is faster because the script is run on the local computer, on the same computer. But in server-side scripting, it is slower because it runs on the remote computer, on a computer which is far away from the server. Example of client-side scripting, we have JavaScript, VB-script, and server-side scripting, we have PHP, JSP, Java Server Pages, ASP, Active Server Pages, ASP.NET, Ruby, Perl, etc. We have this server-side scripts like Active Server Pages, ASP and JSP we call them. So there are some certain points like JSP is a product of Sun Microsystems, and ASP is the product of Microsoft. ASP code is interpreted while JSP code is compiled at runtime. JSP code can run faster than ASP if there are fewer changes. If the changes are fewer, then JSP code can run faster. Majority of Windows use ASP, while users of open source operating systems like Linux operating system or Unix operating system, they use JSP among others. Now, web browser, as we have already discussed. Now, this is used for surfing on the internet. It's an application software through which you can surf the internet. You request to the web server about certain information, and that particular information is returned back by the server. It can display text, audio, video, animation, and all those things. For example, we have Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Edge, Firefox, Opera. Now, web server, it's a computer which stores your websites. It hosts the website, we can say. We have different types of servers. We have web servers, we have file servers, like for storage, for emails, etc. For all those things we have servers. Website is a collection of web pages, we already know, while web server is a software that responds to the client request or the web resources. Web hosting. Now, websites are hosted or stored on a special computer called servers. A web host or web hosting service provider is a business that provides the technologies and services needed for the website or web page to be viewed on the internet. Now, in the last part, we have e-commerce. Now, e-commerce is a methodology of modern business which addresses the need of business organizations, vendors, and customers to reduce cost and improve the quality of goods and services while increasing the speed of delivery. So it's a paperless exchange of business information using following ways, like we have EDI, electronic data exchange, email, we can use electronic fund transfer, EFT, and other network-based technologies. In online transactions, we can do online transactions by using online banking, which is provided by your bank, in which you are provided with a username and password. You can log in on the bank's or the institution's website, and you can transfer your funds from one bank to another bank. You can also use mobile banking service for doing the same purpose. Then we have certain apps and services which we can use online on our mobile phones. They are known as mobile wallets. Like we have Bheem, then we have Google Wallet, then we have Paytm, Freecharge, MobiKwik, PayU, PayPal, etc. All these are available free of cost. We can install them in our mobile phones and we can do our transactions. So that's all in today's section. Thank you.